So let's start her off. And the first things first, trace it off. So remember, we're working from our suit sleeve. When I say suit, I mean jacket. Now I'm saying suit because it's just easier to say. Too many syllables in the word jacket, and that's where I am right now in my life. If it has less syllables, I will use it. You're using this. So, and just again, tell everyone in class, hey everyone listen up. I'm still having people ask me questions about the front and back jacket suit sloper. Everyone is creating these with the 1/4 inch shoulder pad. So you add an 1/8 here and a 1/4 here. Everyone's making the same one. When you draft your pattern using this, then you can take it off if you want, right? So, because people are still asking me questions. So everyone's drafting it exactly the way I did in the video. No one's gonna make a special sloper that doesn't have a shoulder pad, because this is standard. Everyone creates a suit sloper that has a 1/4 inch shoulder pad. And if you want to put a little note on it saying 1/4 inch shoulder pad included for yourself, you can. All right, that's what I do all the time. I put a little note. Then when you're drafting it, you're just going to take it away. You know, if you want to create a shoulder pad that's bigger, then you can make it bigger, right? You can add to it. But everyone's going to create a standard sloper that's exactly the same. So this is a really easy step. You guys should be knocking this out real fast and get this done so you can move on if you haven't finished it already. Okay, thank you. Right. So we're going to fold this in half. Make sure you measure. So the thing about sleeves is they're so tricky because you gotta measure over and over again. So my sloper's an 8, but I had a size 10. So I had to redraft it. I had to redraft an 8 version. Always write the size on your draft. It's really important.
I made that mistake before.
Just get in the habit of certain things, you know, because if you don't, maybe you're drafting something else and it's in a different size. All right. Okay, so measure these guys and make sure they match, right? So my front's 8 7/8. My front is 9 1/8. That's awesome because that allows me a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Ease. 1/4 inch ease is awesome. I have that little bit of ease right here and I'm happy with that. Okay, so if you have a little 1/4 inch ease, that's fine. If you have more than that, I mean maybe like 3/8, but not more than that, it's going to be hard to get it eased in and you're going to get puckering. Didn't you have some? Yeah. So stick with that 1/4 inch. So my back is 9 5/8. Ooh, 9 5/8. I'm right on. Okay. I mean, yeah, I've got a 1/4 inch ease. I'll go with that. Having a 1/4 inch here, if I had a 1/4 inch here, I would be fine with that. I think I can ease that in. It also depends on the fabric. If you have, you know, this polyester slippery fabric, it's not going to ease in as well. But if you have a nice woolen fabric, natural fibers, they're easier to ease in, right? You can stretch them more and whatnot. And you guys know how to do do a little stay stitch, a little basting stitch, and cinch it up a little. You might have to do that. So it's up to you. If you want to get the numbers and get them right on, then you have less work trying to ease it in. And then also remember, when you're sewing, always put the side that's longer underneath. You guys know that, right? So if you're sewing 2 pieces of fabric together and one side has ease and it has a 1/4 inch ease or 3/8 ease, I always put that side on the bottom and I sew with the shorter side on top, because the feed dog sucks it up and it's easier to suck up the ease. Were you guys taught that? Some of you, okay. So that's another trick that you want to remember to do. All right, so check the measurements here, and now I'm ready to go, as long as this fits. Okay, side note, two-piece sleeve. Helen Joseph Armstrong, she uses the sleeve with the dart. Okay, so you guys don't have a sleeve with a dart. You guys have whatever that is back there. So the sleeve with the dart is nice because then it gives you that curve. And remember I was talking about how the two-piece sleeve gives you a little curve, and I wanted to show you guys that. That's beautiful, you know, but so I do have this darted sleeve. If you guys have a size 10, if you're working with size 10 or size 8 or size 12, you could use this and maybe size this to fit into your torso sloper and then work off of this if you want. But if not, I just created mine with a straight sleeve. so you know, it's okay. It's okay. Angie, you can use your straight sleeve if you want. It's just not as curvy and everything, okay? All right, so now we're gonna fold this over. So I'm folding into the center line my armhole side seam intersection, and I'm matching it up. And I'm just gonna fold up this way, and I'm gonna trace that line so that it looks like this. I'm doing this. I'm doing it on both sides. So if you guys have a better method for tracing it over, fine, do your method. This is my method that I am used to. Sometimes it's hard to see your line. That's why I drew it in Sharpie. I forgot to do that while I was prepping. Sorry, you guys. I hate it when I can't see things through the paper. So, okay, so there we go. Trace it. If you want to just use your pointy tracing wheel, you can do it that way too, if that works for you, if you can see the dots. And then I'm going to do it on the other side too. And then you can true it up. So then I'm just going to take my French curve and true that up a little bit. You don't have to get it perfectly trued because, well, yeah, you do. It doesn't matter. Because we're going to be tracing it to be our under sleeve. So there we go. Now we have to mark what these are. So this one is Y. Sorry, X. These are X in green. So let me mark them in green. We're gonna mark this X okay? And this one's X, this point here. And we're gonna mark this point. Oh, I didn't do that yet, sorry. So while this is folded over, so now we have X. Now we need to get Z and Y. So while this is folded over, we have to measure 1 1/4 inches. There it is. And square up. And we have to transfer this, okay? So this spot. Do you guys get this one? Is it, everyone clear on how I got this? So now I need to transfer that. So again, I'm using tracing paper. If you have a better way of doing it, I need to transfer this little guy here. And I need to transfer it on the other side too. So I'm flipping it because I need it over here. So I need it here and here. Does that make sense? So she makes dots. I'm like in the habit of slashes. So this one is Z, red, and this one's Y. So this is Y, Z, and X. Okay,
So
and
the
then
purpose of those is just to create this center panel, right?
Yep.
So when it flips over, this piece here is gonna represent this.
first we're gonna do the upper sleeve. So first we're gonna create these lines, the Y lines, and I'll do it in blue actually. First we're gonna do the upper sleeve. So don't worry about that one yet. We're gonna do this one first.
I just wanted to understand what
Yes,
what
this
this is about.
This is gonna be the upper sleeve line, and then we're gonna do the under sleeve line.
Perfect.
So now we're gonna fold this side and do the same thing. Just doing the same thing, right? That we did before over here. We wanna get our Z and our Y. Fold this over. And I have to measure 1 1/4 inches from the center on that line, which I can barely see. It's right here. And then I square up. Square up on that line to here. Okay. So now that line I'm gonna mark. And then I'm gonna mark it on the other side too. So here's my Z, and here's my Y. Z and Y. And this is in the book. Right here, page 545. Because I'm following it in the book. And 546. Which could be really helpful for you guys to have that additional help or tool. So now I'm gonna do come down to address this hem. I'm gonna split it into 4 equal pieces. So I know this is 10. Yeah, so this is going to be 2.5 here and 2.5 here, and then we're marking those X. So that's green. Oh, and I have to establish my elbow. Okay, so after we do this, we're just breaking it into 4 equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, they're all equal. Then I have to establish where my elbow is. So when you're using The darted sleeve, that's easy. You know where your elbow is because it's always where that dart is. So I measured on myself and my elbow's like 9.5. I measured on here and it's actually like 10.5. So, but that's at the top of the dart. So, you know, I'm telling you guys to do it like 9 or 9.5. If you want to make it, maybe if you have a size 12, make it 10 inches up. So, if you were making a custom sleeve, you know, you would measure on yourself or whoever your model is, and you'd measure your wrist and your measure here, and then you could customize it. But we're just going to kind of go with some standard numbers. Does that make sense? So I'm going to go with 9.5. To establish my elbow. And if you want to do 9.5, that's fine. And square it across. And you can call it elbow. So you know what it is. I always label bicep. I have my measurement. I have my length measurement. It's always good to have these here. I can measure what it is. It's 11 3/8. Yeah. Okay. So now the next step is to measure. I'm splitting that into 4 equal parts. Yeah, 4 equal parts. So we're doing the same up here, just like here, 4 equal parts, 4 equal parts. So 11 3/8 unfortunately isn't as easy to break up, but hey, I'm gonna eyeball it here and here. And those are X as well. So now we're going to connect the X's. So we're just going to take your ruler and connect.
You want a yardstick?
No, I'm okay. Thank you, though. And connect here. Again, ours is going to look a little different from hers because we're working with a straight sleeve. I drafted this directly from one of those back there, the size 8. Okay, so now we're here. Now we can start doing our upper sleeve. We're going to do the upper sleeve first, and then we'll do the under sleeve. And we're measuring out from this X. Okay, so we need to measure out from X. Let's start at the bottom and work our way up 3/4 of an inch out. So yeah, showing you right there. 3/4, boom, and 3/4 on the other side as well. Boom. And now that's gonna be Y. Blue, Y, and then I'm going to measure out an inch from my X's at the elbow line. So I actually did 1.5 inches on the back because it gave me more of that shape, because I was trying to get a shape. It's more of that bend. So I'm going to do that again. But she instructs you to just do 1 inch, and then that's Y. So I did 1 inch on the front and I did 1.5 inches on the back. But if you want to just do it her way and just do 1 inch on both sides, you can. Okay? Any questions so far? So now I'm going to connect my Y's. And then that'll be my upper sleeve. And you guys can true these lines up like with a curve. Use your curves and give them some shape to make them more pretty, less straight lines. Right now I'm just kind of
Eyeballing it.
I'm just connecting the dots, but please, you know, do some of this to get a pretty shape. You know, maybe even more. Bring it like this. A nice shape in there, and then I might even try to bend this out a little bit, because I'm trying to tweak it. Since we didn't have the darted sleeve, I brought it out in 1/8, and I'm gonna just kind of blend this in, and I'm kind of freestyling now. Give myself some shape. We'll see how that works, how that looks. I kind of want this to be straight right here, so don't want that to be too curvy. So there's my correct line, so I don't get confused. I don't want this to bend in. Here's my correct line. This shouldn't be totally bending either. So there's that line, and here's this line. So that's my, this becomes the upper sleeve that you trace, okay? You just trace this off, add seam allowance. You gotta add notches. So notches are 1.5 inches above and below the back elbow. So you don't have to put them on the front. She doesn't, but I recommend it because it'll help ease things in. To have the notches. So in the front, a single notch, in the back, a double notch. Did I do 1.5 inches? Yeah, 1.5 inches. So the notches are 1.5 inches up and down from the elbow.
I noticed you put one set of notches on this side, and there's 2 set of notches on this side.
Because that's the back. Back always has 2 notches, right? Basic pattern
I think
making.
he's talking about these 2 notches right here.
Yeah.
So you got 2 here.
Oh, because this is my undersleeve pattern. So there's 2 patterns in this.
Okay.
We're getting there. You'll see. Okay, so here's my upper sleeve, right? And I sewed a sample. So here's my pattern. So I traced this. And it has my notches on it. And again, if you want to do them, it's nice sometimes to have it in the front too, I think. Okay, so that's all I did is trace this off from here. Take another piece of paper, trace it, and I added a 1-inch hem. I want a 1-inch hem. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm gonna finish doing my undersleeve. So to do the undersleeve, now I'm gonna work in, because it's gonna be smaller. So now I'm working inward. So we're doing the same thing. We were working out 3/4 and 1 inch. We're gonna do the opposite now. So from our y-axis, our x-axis, which is like our main axis, we're gonna go back 3/4. And same here, back 3/4. Okay. And this is gonna be labeled Z, because this is gonna connect to our Z's up there. the Z's are gonna connect. And now we're gonna make our Z points here. So we're gonna measure back from the X an inch. This is my Z. And now we're gonna connect. I think I'll just use my card. And then you'll want to measure it. You'll measure the armholes and see, make sure the armhole is gonna always measure again. And that looks weird. I don't like that at all. So I would stick with, if yours looks like mine, stick with the straight lines, because that doesn't look right at all. Carol. Shouldn't look like that. So now this guy is my undersleeve. And you'll trace this off and add seam allowance. Okay, and then again, measure this and measure, you know, measure this. So where's my pattern? And double check. So I measured this portion here and this portion and added them together. And then I measured this portion and this portion and added them together to make sure they were fitting. And then you might have to make some, I had to make this adjustment right here to make it fit, and here too, to make it fit. And it looks better now too. Okay. So that's all I got for you guys. I'll talk about the welt. The welt pocket is really easy. It's kind of small.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you guys, and that's my suit. I used the suit's torso or suit sloper, which is bigger, right? We added. Yeah. I swear I added to it. So, but again, I used that size 8 from back there. So I don't know what the hell those are. I mean. But yeah, this doesn't look, a suit sleeve should be quite a bit bigger. So, Daniel, can you grab the jacket that's on the dress form?
Left or right?
Size 8, maybe that's why. Who's smaller than me? Carol, come over here. Can you take your sweatshirt off? Like, I'm more of a size 12 now, or a 10, you know. It's been a tough year, right?
Yeah, I'm size 8.
And, no, the other arm. So let's see how this fits on her. So, and I put a 1-inch hem on it, so it's gonna be up like this. So turn and face everyone. So it's a little bit better on her.
Mm-hmm.
What size is this? This is a small. Yeah, I mean, it's comparable to this. We can measure this. I'm much wider than ours. How does it feel? Does it feel tight, or does it feel like you can bend your arm a little, move around? Yeah.
looks a little tight when she bends her arm.
It still seems tight.
Uh,
So
maybe
my,
But the shoulder.
so my, mine is 10 and this one is about 10 too. It's a little bit bigger. This is the elbow probably. This is like 6.5, so it's like 13. So my elbow is much bigger. So, this is her way of drafting it. So, she's not always spot on. But, you know, this is how she does it. If you want to make some adjustments for yourself to make, if you want it bigger, how do you feel about this? Are you happy with it? The fit? You guys can stop videoing now because
Okay.
now I'm just chatting. But